And so, believe it or not, because yes, I am 31 years old, so I'm going to state this, I have been in a relationship for the last 10 years. And I promise this is not a relationship video. But when you're in a relationship, there is a lot of communication. There is a lot of fixing things in the 10-year span. And that involves some things that aren't 2-week patch-ups. I do highly believe that Uber is doing a 2-week patch-up, but we are going to see, because seeing is believing. Now, what I mean by the 2-week patch-up here is, in a recent video, I made a video about Uber Eats removing the boost. And it irks me that they did that because we should not have things being removed. But the 2-week patch-up that I'm talking about is things are looking better, and I have screenshots to reference it. But is Uber only doing this for 2 weeks to make things look good? Or are they going to try to mend this relationship with us drivers based on spectics that this is something requested by the government? I don't know, but let's talk about this. So in the last 48 hours, myself and my brother have gone out, and of course, we do gig work. And I have noticed that there's a shape of difference. So let's talk about 2 shop and pay orders. My brother went out last night at supper time. He's doing a shop and pay order for $20, 10 items for about 3 kilometers. And the base offer that I'm showing in the screenshot, I don't know the exact amount because I'm not looking on my phone, was between like $12 or $14. I think it was $14 plus the tip. Right there, that is Uber giving more for a base fare, and we know they do it on shop and pays, but not typically metro orders, a higher base offer. And then I think it was $7 was my brother's tip. Go to my shop and pay order. It was a dead, super dead Tuesday night. And I get this shop and pay order, and I'm a little bit surprised by it. $12, a super seat, 1 item, and as well, like 3 kilometers. I'm like, okay, 1 item. My brother and I are on the phone together, like, oh, watch this be a heavy offer. But it wasn't. It was a pre-made bacon, the Ready Crisp bacon in the little pieces, for like $5.99. Uber is saying, I'm gonna get $12, but you're thinking to yourself, it's $5.99 for the bacon. The customer has service fees and everything else. How much are they realistically gonna tip you for a $5.99 bacon? So I go, I don't even have the actual bacon. I have to substitute it, and I'm showing the screenshot as a reference. I don't want to stereotype names, but this name, this username, was definitely not a common person name. It was a username that would make me think that absolutely I was being tip baited. And I go and I drop off the customer's bacon for the $5.99, and Uber paid me the entire $12. The customer actually still tipped me $1.19 for the bacon, which is hilarious because I don't know if I would have done it for just 1 item. I mean, yes, probably for $1, sure. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking this is $5.99 for bacon. What the hell is going on here? Uber gave $12 for me to get $5.99 bacon. Interesting. Let's look at another one I've been doing this morning, because currently it's around 10 o'clock currently right now. I have been doing some delivery orders, and I had this one come in for $10 for 8 kilometers. Now the 8 kilometers is because I turn on Uber the moment I'm at my kid's school dropping him off, and immediately I have to go from the school to the restaurant, which is 3 kilometers, and then from the restaurant to the customer's house is 5 kilometers. So the way I look at it is it's still basically, it's 10 for 5, because either way, I gotta get to a destination. I'm not gonna pick up food at the school. And I drop off the order, and the base offer is $7 from Uber. So it's a lot more than what they initially would give. And then we have one more that I did today, a McDonald's order. I dread doing McDonald's orders. Most of the time I ignore them. But it was $8.49, I think it was, for like 3.4 kilometers. Ends up being 4 kilometers because I have to make a U-turn, but that's not the point. I drop off the McDonald's order, and I got $4.22 from Uber. So almost half the cost of the order is paid by Uber. These are 4 orders pretty much back to back in a row that we are seeing that the base offer is between 50% to, I would say, about 70% worth of my payment of the order. I'm not going to complain about that. I want Uber to pay more. I don't want my customers to have to pay more, because when it's the customers that have to tip, when it's the customer that my main income comes from, there's the dispute between customers and drivers that don't have to happen because these companies are the ones that's supposed to be paying us. But is this going to be more than a 2-week patch-up? If you are currently seeing the same thing that I am, please comment below so that we can keep tabs and see how this is going. Of course, I'm not just going to say the last 48 hours is that's it, that's all. I think that's a fluke, and I think that within the next 2 weeks, things are going to go domino, just like it would in a relationship if people decide to give up and not bother. And that's what I think Uber's going to do. But I think that because there are rumors going around, and I'm not sure of what the truth is, Uber had to remove the boost because our base fare was too low, and the government has turned around and said, you can't be doing that to people. So they're incorporating it into the base cost. But if they're jacking up the price at the same time, I mean, I'm not going to complain about that, are you? Because I'm not. But I really want to see if this is just a band-aid effect. So we're all going to keep tabs. I want you to comment below if you're seeing the difference. And if you also have screenshots of referencing the fact that the base costs are more in your area, always send them out to me on Instagram. You can send them to my email address, dashwithdashingcanada@hotmail.com. This way I can reference them also in future videos. And I'll catch you lovelies in the next video.